Hi everyone. I just wanted to share some quick update. So the guy giving the interview is Umnik. As you can see, Umnik is a very smart guy. He's legendary grandmaster on this website called codeforces. If you never heard about codeforces, it's like lead code on steroids. It's the place, the website, the platform where people basically compete solving algorithmic problems. And problems here are much harder than on lead code. Trust me. So this guy is legendary grandmaster, which is basically the highest level. And yeah, as you can see, he started competing like 12 years ago. And actually, to pass any big tech interview, you only need to be like at the level of master. If you're at the level of master, then you're already good, right? You can solve almost all of the hard lead code style problems. But problems here are much harder. And this guy Umnik, he is actually top 10. And if you're top 10 on this platform, then it means you are damn smart. You're like in the 0.01 percentile. You are better than most people in terms of algorithmic competitions, right? And so in this book, he actually shares some tips and tricks how to improve solving algorithmic problems. He gives a recommendation to read the book. I can't really remember the exact time code where he talks about it, right? You can watch the entire interview if you want. But he talks about this book that's very old, and the book's name is, what is the name of this book? It's the book full of logical puzzles and riddles. It's basically a book on math. It was written by Raymond Smullyan, a famous mathematician. And it's a book where you kind of learn to think using propositional logic. Propositional logic is a course I took in university in my undergrad years about 10 years ago. So another name for this is predicate logic. So using predicate logic, you're learning to kind of like reason and find contradictions and make conclusions, right? So in predicate logic, in propositional logic, you have a statement. A proposition is a statement or a simple declarative sentence. Like, for example, the book is expensive is a proposition. Proposition can have two values, either true or false, and then you have logical rules like and, or, implies, equivalent, not, for all, there exists. And you have some complex formulas like this one, and then you have to evaluate them and you have to come up with a conclusion. Like, if this simple sentence is true, then is S and T and S or T, or if S is T is true. So it's kind of like complicated, right? So this book kind of teaches you how to think in terms of propositional predicate logic, and basically it teaches you how to reason, how to find contradictions, or how to make logically correct conclusions. And there's 4 parts, and I recommend only reading first 2 if you're super busy. It took me about 2 weeks to finish the book, and I was kind of like reading it as a fun, fun textbook. It's really fun, yeah, do give it a try. I finished it reading today, and it was kind of fun. I started kind of understanding what he was trying to convey when he said that this book teaches you to think. This book really does teaches you to think and apply these predicate rules. It's kind of like a foundation or building blocks, how to reason about problems. A typical problem here is like inside this book there is a problem where you have an island, a magical island, and only 2 types of people live on this island. The knights, like the medieval knights who only tell the truth, and the liars who always tell the lie. And they make statements, and you have to figure out which statement is correct and who is who. Like, if a person is saying I am a liar, is he actually telling the truth? Because if he is a liar, then he cannot tell the truth, right? It's called the paradox of a liar. And there is lots of such paradoxes if you are really interested in this. So I kind of recommend reading just the first 2 parts in this book. And do give it a try to this platform codeforces. It has like 10,000 problems, starting from the easiest ones rated at 800 and all the way to like 3,500, which is like pure math, it's like space level of abstraction, right? Usually most problems, they fall in the category of like GP, binary search, DFS, BFS, graph, convex hull, some optimizations. And the more the difficulty rises, the more abstract the problem gets. So somewhere starting at level 2200 or 2300, there is no actual pattern that you can detect from reading a description. Sometime when you solve a leet code problem, you're like, oh, this is a BFS, oh, this is a DFS, this is a simple graph problem. So leet code basically tests your knowledge of patterns and how you can apply them. But here, sometimes you need to apply a pattern on top of a pattern, and you have to modify the pattern a lot. So yeah, so this is like leet code on steroids. And if a guy gives you a recommendation to read a book, then it's probably a good recommendation. And I do concur. I do confirm that this book was kind of fun to read.